Article 300.11 of the 1999 National Fire Protection Association 70, which is the National Electrical Code, states that conduit, tubing, and cable shall not be supported by the ceiling grid wiring in accessible areas. It is not industry standard to tie the bottom wire of the conduit support system to the ceiling grid. The reason for this is that if the ceiling falls down, you could lose half of your support system. Some states may have specific requirements. For example, Washington state requires different color ceiling wires to differentiate between ceiling grid and conduit supports. These wires are fastened independently above, but tied to the ceiling support grid on the bottom. However, this is a state-specific requirement and does not apply to other states. In conclusion, it is not industry standard to tie the bottom wire of the conduit support system to the ceiling grid. While Washington state requires this, it is not a requirement in other states. The best practice is to follow the 1999 National Fire Protection Association 70, Article 300.11, and not support conduit, tubing, and cable by the ceiling grid wiring in accessible areas. It is crucial to adhere to the National Electrical Code and any local amendments to ensure electrical safety and proper installation practices. Improper support of conduit, tubing, and cable can lead to hazardous situations, including potential damage to the wiring system and risk of electrical shock. Therefore, it is important to understand and implement the correct methods for supporting these components independent of the ceiling grid wiring. When installing electrical systems, always refer to the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and consult with qualified electrical professionals to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations and standards. The National Electrical Code provides comprehensive guidelines for the safe and effective installation of electrical wiring and equipment. Following these guidelines helps to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and ensures the long-term reliability of the electrical system. Article 300 of the National Electrical Code addresses wiring methods and materials. Section 300.11 specifically covers securing and supporting wiring. It emphasizes the importance of providing adequate support for cables, raceways, and other wiring methods to prevent strain on connections and equipment. The requirements in Article 300.11 are designed to maintain the integrity of the wiring system and to prevent damage that could result in electrical faults or fire hazards. In addition to the general requirements for securing and supporting wiring, Article 300.11 provides specific guidance on the use of ceiling grids for support. As mentioned earlier, the code prohibits the use of ceiling grid wiring to support conduit, tubing, and cable in accessible areas. This is to ensure that the electrical wiring system remains independent of the ceiling grid, which may be subject to movement, damage, or removal during maintenance or renovation activities. By keeping the electrical wiring system separate from the ceiling grid, the risk of damage to the wiring and subsequent electrical hazards is minimized. When installing conduit, tubing, and cable in areas with suspended ceilings, it is essential to use independent supports that are securely fastened to the building structure. These supports can include clamps, straps, hangers, and other approved hardware specifically designed for supporting electrical wiring systems. The support should be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and should be spaced at intervals that comply with the National Electrical Code requirements. The appropriate spacing of supports will depend on the type and size of the wiring method being used, as well as the specific installation conditions. In addition to providing adequate support for the wiring system, it is also important to ensure that the supports are properly grounded. Grounding helps to protect against electrical shock and to prevent the buildup of static electricity, which can damage sensitive electronic equipment. The National Electrical Code provides detailed requirements for grounding electrical systems, and it is essential to follow these requirements carefully to ensure a safe and reliable installation. When working with electrical systems, it is always important to prioritize safety. Before starting any electrical work, be sure to disconnect the power supply and to follow appropriate lockout/tagout procedures. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses and gloves, and use insulated tools. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is best to hire a licensed electrician who has the knowledge and experience to do the job safely and correctly. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is not worth risking your safety or the safety of others by attempting to do work that you are not qualified to do. Remember, the National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of guidelines for the safe and effective installation of electrical wiring and equipment. By following these guidelines and by working with qualified electrical professionals, you can help to ensure that your electrical system is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable regulations and standards. Furthermore, understand that the requirements may vary based on local jurisdictions and amendments. Always consult local authorities having jurisdiction or ODGs to determine if there are local regulations that may supersede the National Electrical Code requirements. Also, even if not required, it is always good to use best practices when doing electrical work, regardless of whether it is in an area that is readily accessible or not. Best practices are often more robust than minimum code and provide an additional safety margin that enhances electrical safety for the lifespan of the building. Furthermore, when using independent supports for electrical conduit, tubing and cable, ensure that they are the right type and properly rated. They should be made of materials suitable for the environment in which they are installed. For example, stainless steel or aluminum supports are often used in corrosive environments. The support should also be able to withstand the weight of the wiring system without sagging or bending. Supports are commonly attached to the building structure with screws, bolts, or other fasteners. Ensure that the fasteners are of the appropriate size and type and that they are securely tightened. It is also important to consider the type of building structure to which the supports are being attached. For example, supports attached to concrete or masonry walls will require different fasteners than supports attached to wood framing. Finally, it is important to inspect the supports regularly to ensure that they are still in good condition and that they are providing adequate support for the wiring system. If any supports are found to be damaged or corroded, they should be replaced immediately. Regular inspection and maintenance of the wiring system can help to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the long-term reliability of the system. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the National Electrical Code, by using best practices, and by working with qualified electrical professionals, you can help to create a safe and reliable electrical environment for yourself and others.